All right, I'd like to call the Townsend Affordable Housing Trust meeting to order on Monday, June 26th at 1:18 p.m. Could I have a roll call, please?
Dave Worland, present.
Beverly Napier, present.
Cynthia Boundy, present.
And Veronica Kell, present. Chaz isn't with us currently, but if he zooms in, we'll bring him in later. All right. Additions or deletions. I think I don't really have any on that. I will say under the review of minutes, I don't have the February ones. I thought I had written them and I couldn't find them, so I'll keep looking. The February 227, I need to look and see if we already approved those. Do you guys know?
Well, let's see if I have them here. With many.
You're so organized.
No, it looks that way. I'm not.
It does, it really.
January 30th.
Okay, so we did approve the January 30th.
Yeah, here you go.
That's the agenda.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so I didn't do February yet. I'll do February for the next meeting. So that's my only deletion.
What's your deletion?
We don't have
February minutes. I went looking for them on my laptop, but I can't find
Sure,
them.
but I don't think
I thought I had written them already, but apparently not.
okay.
Anybody else have any additions or deletions?
No, we're working off of this agenda, right?
The June
The
26th.
June 26th.
Yes.
Okay.
You
I've sent that too, because I have two. Okay. All right.
Here.
No.
Okay, we'll share it. I make no sense of it too.
Oh, you know what is maybe that's why I'm confused. Maybe I have yours by mistake. Is that the same thing?
I have May 22nd. I don't know.
No,
The May 22nd one is a mistake. I sent you guys the meeting minutes instead of I sent you the agenda. However, well, there is something for May 22nd, which you should have. When I sent it out to you guys, I sent you the agenda instead of the minutes. But if you look at the minutes, I didn't change, and this is probably what messed me up. I didn't change the word agenda to minutes. So I have to make that change. So what you should have is minutes for the 24th.
Yeah.
You should have minutes for the May 22nd, which say agenda.
Okay, but so the agenda, May 22nd is actually
Minutes, yeah.
Okay.
And that's probably what's messing you up. That's my mistake. And that's an edit I didn't make.
Okay.
And then you should have, the other thing I sent you was this job description that we are going to go through today.
Okay.
I thought there was another one that got sent to me by Chaz, but there's no attachment to what he sent me. So we're gonna do this, yeah. So if he comes in, we'll go from there. But those are the only changes that I have. So,
Okay.
anybody else have anything that you think we should talk about?
Well, I'll just say that I visited Kathy, treasurer.
Oh, that's on the agenda.
And the way we left it was she said they can use any bank they want. There's no rule that they have to use that bank.
The Unibank
You don't have to use
or
that.
whatever it's called.
Any bank. And I said, look, all things being equal, if we can find a good rate of return with a local bank in Townsend, I'd prefer that. But if there's a discrepancy of 1 or 2 points where we can do better at Eastern Bank or something else, she says, I'll look into it. Now that's before we went on vacation, before our last meeting. So I haven't seen her since, so I don't know whether she looked into it. But clearly, we know we can get a 9-month CD right now for 5.25% at Eastern. But if we could do something local, workers or Rolston or something, if they can give us something close to that, wouldn't we prefer to do local? I don't know. What is the board?
Yeah. Well, this is an agenda item.
Okay.
Under 2.1. I did it a little differently. I did old business and I just listed it and new business and I just listed. So
anyway, that's the.
yeah, let's, do you want to talk about that right now or do you?
Well, that's all I can really say is that, I haven't gone back to her to say, well, did you think about it?
Yeah, no.
I mean, it was,
Discuss,
Yeah, she thought, well, why do you even bother?
Like,
what did he mean?
Because it's a couple grand.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
she deals
yeah.
with millions, so for her, it's like, you know,
No big deal, but
No.
for us, it's.
but
a
it's
big
significant
deal.
enough, especially as we're talking about bringing somebody on board to pay them.
Right,
It helps.
right, because we're gonna, yeah,
I'll update on savings.
And then, of course, the
Okay.
way I think you and I left the forestry guy was that we would reach out to him
Okay.
to try to do a site thing this month.
okay, so
Right?
let's go to the agenda.
Yep.
Let's look at the minutes for April 1st, because I have that in the minutes from last time.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so, the minutes from last time, you know, the minutes from the 24th, we reviewed the, document with Karen at that meeting. That's the one where we were at the library and we went through kind of page by page and went through everything. So I tried to capture it as best I could under 2.1. Karen reviewed the changes we sent to her. No, you know what I have? I have that the minutes from 2/27/2023 were reviewed and accepted in April. I remember writing them. Are those the ones that you had?
I don't have that.
2/27?
This,
Do you-
do you have the April one, Bev? I do not.
Look at the minutes that you do have in your book
Yep.
that you had just showed. me.
Yep. Okay, February 27. It's the agenda.
That's the agenda.
Minutes, January.
January minutes. Maybe that's what I have.
I don't know if I have, that's it.
I swear I wrote them
I
and
believe
I
you.
could not find them. Okay.
I'll make double sure.
All right, so let me recheck that, the 2/27.
no, I don't have them.
All right, so,
I don't have the
okay, look for February.
email.
All right. All right, so this, I'm gonna eliminate this from the, so one edit would be to remove that,
227.
2/27. Although I swear I watched the video, and I have this in my notes. Okay. Let me confirm this. Confirm status of 2/27 minutes. All right. So then it goes down and it's where we went through everything. And then while we were going through everything, we talked about other topics. One was the location of the ARPA funds, which is what got you started on what you've been doing, Dave. You had also asked about donations to the trust, warrant policy for expenditure of our trust funds. CPA is a question on the warrant for town meeting. We had already done the things that we were going to do at Earth Day. And then Karen will accept all the changes and send it to us for review. And we will accept the final at the next meeting. Okay, and discuss the way to roll it out. Then there was Housing Institute meetings. It's pretty short. The April 11th Zoom, et cetera, et cetera. And that is pretty much it. So anything for that one? Can we accept it with confirmation of 1.4?
Yes.
Okay, or should we just strike that? No, that they
Well,
should be
I mean,
accept with confirmation of that.
Yeah, hopefully they'll turn out.
All right. So is there a motion to accept the minutes of April 24th with a confirmation of the 2/27?
Okay, I make a motion that we accept the minutes, because I think they'll turn up somewhere, right?
I second the motion.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Okay, then the 5/22 minutes. On this one, okay. We voted the officers. I have to write a letter designating these positions to be posted at the Registry of Deeds and notify Harrison of updates to the Town of Townsend webpage. So I'm going to give him the minutes too that we've approved to post. And I think I have to give them to the town clerk as well. And then the next one is Bay State Forestry.
right.
What you had said, and so read that and see if it's what.
Yeah, in fact, I have my notes here.
Okay.
So he did receive the parcels as far as I know,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
Um,
The two.
oh, to see when he's available in late June. I thought for some reason we had discussed doing it in July.
That. So.
So I think that's wrong. I think
Okay.
late
So
July.
change,
I think late June becomes late July.
okay. Late July.
And I think what I'll do is I'll follow up if you like.
Yeah.
Give him a call and see if we can set a date.
So we have set dates for site visits with Logger as an old business item for today. So we'll talk about that. We should look at what dates we're available.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and we should give him a few dates to choose from.
Okay. So the two parcels for immediate consideration are Southborough Road and Wallace Hill. Those are large parcels. And then you sent him the stuff that perhaps consult on the other parcels, Dudley Road.
So it's
and Blood
Southborough
Lake
Road and what?
Wallace Hill.
The two big parcels. And then the other was for him to consult with him on the others.
Right.
And then I hope I wrote the next part right. Kyle, I suggested cutting by prescription, since this would be a pre-development cutting.
Yeah,
Those are the words that I had written down.
plan versus prescription. And
Yeah.
honestly, I'm like, okay. I'm
Well,
not
if you have a
person.
forestry plan, they, go over it and they put it into pieces and they kind of say, okay, you have this kind of trees here, these kind of trees here, and you have different sections in the plan, and then they figure out how, what order to cut things
Right.
in and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Okay,
This, the words I wrote down were by prescription.
And that's exactly what he suggested.
Okay. And so I think that's just, going through and him marking the trees that he thinks would be good. We kind of work with him on the sidewalk and say, this is what we're thinking. And then it's up to him.
Exactly.
okay.
So I'll reach out to him this week and say, once we decide what dates were available, first site visit,
Okay.
Mm.
So, and
see if he can.
okay, so these are the things that we talked about last time. So under old business, I put set dates for site visits with Logger, review warrant signing policy, which I have not written yet, update on funds, savings, which is what
Which I
Dave
just
was
said.
gonna,
Yeah.
everything.
I've got to go back and visit her and, maybe we just say, look, this is where we'd like you to open an account.
Yeah, and this is the amount we want you to put
Yeah.
in.
And I guess the only question I would ask the board is, do we want to instruct her to open just a savings account? Or should we have her open a savings and checking account? I would think a savings is sufficient.
I agree with
And we
that.
need the money, we just transfer it out to the
Mhm.
account that has the checking.
Well, I'm wondering if we should keep the fiscal year with the town at the 2% checking level, and then take the remaining 60K or whatever.
Yeah, 50 or 60, whatever.
Whatever.
And
we've
put it in
got,
another
and
bank
put
and
it in
save.
savings.
And just savings, don't open another
Yeah,
checking.
exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
Good, that's what I feel, so.
Okay.
So I'll talk to her
Well,
about that.
we'll vote on things. Well, no vote yet, but anyway, okay. And then we reviewed the 5-year action plans and set goals and timelines. That's what we did last meeting. So that's here as best I could do it. So I had July forestry and hire a housing admin for a timeline. In the fall, survey and wetland delineation, South Row Road, and modify the plan. We can talk about this more during the meeting. And then by spring 2024, have a project in the works. And then we talked about CPA rollouts. Townsend Housing Authority and BOS, the Habitat for Humanity on the Warren Road project property, and are we going to be the ones responsible financially for the survey on that property or not?
Well,
And
what's
then-
the
I don't-
option? I mean, if we're not, who is?
Yeah, because it's not one of our parcels, really, right?
No, it's not one of our parcels, and the Board of Selectmen did set aside some money for that sort of work. So it's
Oh,
what we discussed this, but we didn't make any decisions.
yeah,
So I just put it in the minutes. We didn't do any reports, and then our next meeting dates. So these are the minutes, and I can't pick up the Zoom recordings easily, so I just put for a Zoom recording of the meeting, please see the Town of Townsend YouTube channel, as opposed to a direct link. I think that's fine.
yeah.
People can go and pull it up for the date that they want. So is there a motion to accept the minutes for May?
I move that we accept the minutes for May.
And is there a second?
I second it.
Right, all those in favor? Aye. Aye. And the one change is changing where it says agenda to minutes, so as not to confuse everybody.
I know.
Okay, so we've accepted these two with those two minor changes. All right, old business is set dates for site visits with the logger.
Right, so got a calendar.
So July.
Assuming he can do July, could be in August, but let's start with July.
I am out of town from the 17th through the 24th, which is why I wanted to move the meeting to July 31st.
And we're out of town.
Bev and I are
You're out of town.
both out of
on
town
31st.
from the 30th until the 6th of August.
Okay. You're the week after me. All right, so maybe we're gonna skip the July.
Well, we can do a site visit, so
Yeah.
we'll all see each other.
We will.
I know.
All right,
I know,
so
that's
let's,
If we can.
yeah, my plane doesn't get in until 2:10. I mean, I could do a nighttime meeting on the 31st, but you guys won't be here.
We're going-
No, I mean, on the 24th, I could do a nighttime
Oh,
meeting. So that was the earliest plane I did that. So let's just skip it and do site visit.
oh, yeah, we had it, the 24th, actually, I had penciled in.
Yeah, we had it. I wanted to change it because
Okay.
I need to go to my mom's for that weekend.
Yeah, no problem. So,
Anyway,
all right, so you want to make it in August after the,
let's do it after you get back from in August. Yeah. I think that after that looks good. I'm pretty open from the 7th through the 25th. When's our meeting? Do we have an August meeting set? Yeah, the 28th of August set for our meeting for us. So anytime you're going to talk to Kyle, right?
yeah, I'll call him after the meeting or tomorrow and
Yeah,
suggest some dates. So let's just look, so you want to set a date for the next meeting or you want to talk about what would be good?
let's talk about possible site walks.
Okay, so let's do that. Let me go back to,
And I think, given that I'm going to be out and then you guys are going to be out, I think we should skip a July meeting and go to August.
Because if we could get a site meeting in July,
And we'll do that.
We
That'll
can
be
do
Right,
July's
yeah.
project.
you know.
okay, so,
We don't want to
you're,
No, it's
is that
not.
Jazz?
No, I don't think so. I think it's. It's ID. Do you see me? No, it's my,
Okay, so you come back on the 17th, is that what you said?
of July. I come back on the 20, whatever day our meeting was, 24th.
Oh, the 24th.
Yeah,
So why don't we suggest, I don't know, 26, 27,
let's see if he's available.
28,
27, 28. It's a
okay,
Thursday and a Friday.
27, 28.
Me too.
Does
27.
that work? for you?
Yeah, the 27th or the 28th, the 26th, I have a thing, but the 20,
That gives me another day to recover.
That's July.
That's July
27 or 28,
28, possible site visits.
okay.
And then let's look in August, just in case he can't do those. We
All
could,
right, so we're gone, we get back on the sixth, so it has to be after the sixth.
okay, so I would, do you want to just look at Thursday, Fridays?
Sure.
We could do 10, 11. And then the following week, 17, 18,
Okay,
and see if any of those work.
all right, that seems like enough to
Yeah,
give him choices.
Yeah.
right.
And then what we'll do is we'll have to work out a time and a place to meet.
Right.
Maybe the
And-
easy thing to do is to meet here at Town Hall. Because then he doesn't have to try to find us,
Right, wherever
Right,
we are
yeah,
and then
out on the street.
you know,
Yes.
we'll all be together here and then we'll either follow us or go on one card at each site.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay,
All right.
So yeah, I'll reach out to him and I'll email you guys, let you know what he says.
Okay.
so with the other dates, you're doing the 17th and 18th?
Yeah.
August 10, 11, 17, 18, or July 26th. Does those all
Yeah.
work for you
Yeah.
guys?
Yeah, the 17th is a problem for me, but.
Then let's not
Well, then
do
let's take it out.
17.
Okay, the 17th isn't good for me. I have to go to
Good.
Boston.
Well, that's,
Okay.
so 18 is okay?
18 is fine.
Okay, so
Okay.
that's still
Okay.
that's 5 days.
That's 12
11 is
days.
fine.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
Okay,
All right, let's hope you can do one
Yeah.
all right.
and it doesn't rain there.
Okay, Dave will reach out to Kyle. That sounds good. All right, review the warrant signing policy. I have not done that yet. I'm very sorry. I haven't, I'm
That's-
delinquent.
Well, you know, that's a tough one.
And it's also not immediate because we
Yeah, we
aren't,
don't need it.
Yeah.
we aren't doing it yet. We aren't spending money yet, so. And then updates on fund savings, check with Melissa. You already did, just it's our budget. I'd have to look at the town book. But we could, 50 to 60K.
Yeah, I mean, I would think maybe we'll just do 50 and that way there's not,
Yeah.
it'll keep it so that there's still money accessible through the checking without having to pull anything out of this.
Okay, so
Because
Dave,
if we buy a CD, you know, obviously we take anything out, we've broken the CD,
right,
we
we
don't wanna
don't
do
get
that.
any interest. in
right?
that.
So I say 50.
Okay,
Yeah. There are also like high yield, just regular savings accounts.
Yep.
You know, that you don't have to. But yeah, I think that's.
okay, so our next meeting is August 28th, correct? So maybe then we can have suggestions for where to put it. Do you want to check into that too, Dave? You're doing all the work.
Check into what?
Where we can put the money locally
Yeah, well, I'm gonna work with the
with
treasurer.
Melissa.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Dave will work with,
I mean, I want to get the best deal we can and, you know, I
okay,
tend to want to do it locally, but, you know, if we
I-
can do substantially better somewhere else.
then we will. Okay, so I think we should have a motion to have Dave work with Melissa to put 50K of our funds somewhere. Do we need a motion for that, or should we wait until we're actually settled on them?
Yeah, I think
Right.
we should wait until we're,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, he's gonna look into it and then we'll.
And then we'll do a
Yeah.
motion.
Yeah.
All right.
And by that time, the rates will probably be better.
I know,
Hopefully, that would be
I keep
nice.
reading, the Fed's not done raising interest.
I know, and they say because it's not stopping the real estate market, that's just still going crazy. So,
Nuts. But anyway, okay. All right, next one is to review the job description. First thing I'm going to say is, this is a really old job description because it's
Hmm.
not the Collins format.
It's what?
Not the Collins Center format. So I can't really use my computer right now. So the first thing is grade. It's not T3. It's a step. And so we have, it's an A, B, C, D, E, or F. And then a step. So, oh, I thought I gave you one.
You
Did I
did.
give you one?
No, yeah, we're sharing.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. And then under job environment, that seemed okay to me.
we have to. If you want.
Okay.
All right. Job environment, majority of work is performed under typical office conditions, frequent interruptions, noise level is moderate, regularly operates a computer, telephone, copier, facility, fax and other standard office equipment.
Is this a work from home or is this work here?
Here, it's here,
Okay.
not from home. I should go ask Garrett if he has anything. Then, under duties, responsible for maintaining the appointments calendar. Everywhere it says housing authority, I was gonna say housing authority and affordable housing trust.
Okay, that's what I
And
wondered,
it's-
because
okay.
this person is gonna be working for both, right?
Both, right,
Yeah.
And are they doing just Townsend or are they doing Townsend, Ashby?
just towns.
This sounds,
Developing written agendas for both boards. And scheduling all meetings and hearings in consultation with the chairs, plural, of the housing authority and
TH.
of TAH. Responsible for recording meeting minutes for transcription into written form for the housing authority
And
and TAHT review and approval, responsible for filing the meeting minutes with town clerk in accordance with state statute. I would say responsible for, to the webmaster for placement on the town website, because town clerk does not do that. Provides copies of minutes to board members and trustees by standard or electronic mail. Now, for us, so this is of all bills to the town accountant for the housing authority and to the town treasurer, because the town accountant has nothing to do with our funds.
Yeah,
And that's part of that warrant policy.
so maybe it should.
Be a
Instead of saying,
separate
"And
thing."
the treasurer," I would do it as a separate thing, that money, from Townsend Affordable Housing Trust to the treasurer. And-
Okay, then at the beginning, I'm going to say for the housing authority, comma. Responsible for tracking and payment of all bills to the town accountant, blah, blah, blah. For the Affordable Housing Trust, responsible for tracking and payment of all bills to the town treasurer,
Yeah,
including payments to the treasurer of any donations, any
and
monies,
any monies that come in.
so change fees to monies. And maintaining all records of income and expenses of the board. And then I also want to add responsible for working with the auditor, because we have to have our funds audited annually with the auditor chosen by the Affordable Housing Trust.
Okay.
What does that cost?
Typically, if it's an add-on to, it will be in the 3,000 to 5,000. I know for the affordable housing,
It's a lot of money, I know.
we pay $1,200 to $1,500 for the land trust for, the work that they do for us annually, which is typically filing with the IRS and all that good stuff. But they look at all the records and make sure everything is in order. And that's pretty much, we don't have to file with anyone, but we do have to have our books.
Yeah, but 3 to 5 grand to audit, 3 checks that you write in a year and some CD income.
I'm
That's
just
insane.
guessing. I'm looking at what I know the auditors for the town charge for anything extra over and above.
Yeah.
Like if you have to have a grant, a special thing done for a grant, it's typically 3,000 more added on to what they do for the town. But they're doing it just for, that's why I picked those numbers,
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and it's better to be, maybe you're high, maybe it won't come out.
And maybe it'll
And that
only
will be a good thing,
because it's
but I
just
wouldn't
like-
be surprised.
Well, there goes the CD interest.
Well, at least a good use of the interest. So, but anyway, responsible for working with the auditor chosen by the TAHT for the annual audit. And I'll write this up and send it to you guys for approval. So those are the things for the Housing Trust. Develops and maintains a comprehensive filing system for the Housing Authority and TAHT. Drafts correspondence for the board to other town departments, for the board and trust, to other town departments and boards, town council, developers, engineering consultants, applicants, and the annual town report. Responsible for posting of all meetings of the board and TAHT. And the town clerk's office, as required by state open meeting law, receives applications and reviews them for conformity with the instructions, performs research for the board, consults with town council for review of and TAHT matters when applicable.
Where did 5 hours a week come from?
It came from the fact that that's what the housing authority. So we just kind of followed what the housing.
And it worked for them.
And it worked for them.
So adding this onto it shouldn't make it.
And that makes it 10 hours. So this position, and I should check with Eric, 10 hours a week for housing, both boards.
Both boards.
Yes. And then another 9 hours a week for grant writing for the town to make it a 19-hour position. And hopefully someone will take.
Yeah.
That's the, for helping with the grant that we did for Mass Trails.
Yeah.
Or the grant that Eric just did for the Community One Stop for the, I'm doing this because it's for the parking area
Yeah.
out there. Those sorts of things. So, and eventually we're going to be writing for grant, doing grant stuff too, perhaps.
I know, I think that sounds good. Combined, because I was looking at all this and I'm like, for 5 hours a week.
No kidding.
No.
The meetings, it's one thing, but
But that's why we said 5 hours, us 5 hours, them 5 hours.
Good.
So it's 10
Okay.
hours.
10
Yeah.
hours, okay.
I misunderstood. I was thinking 5 hours to do both. That's,
No, that would be crazy.
yeah, okay,
That would be
Yeah.
crazy.
got it.
So it's a
Even-
19-hour position also.
It's a
Yeah,
19-hour
so that's-
position and it includes grant writing. So administrative to the Housing Authority, the Housing Trust. And I wanted to see if Eric had anything additional. Okay, on the back, there was one more. Receive, open, date stamps, incoming mail, categorize documents for inclusion on next agenda. So that's can you think of anything else that, this is the administrative assistant, not housing administrator, which is an over and above this, which I think we put in for the 3rd year. Not next year. I think it was 3 years. This year and next year, administrative assistant. After that, if we really do have a project going by spring 2024, we need a little bit more.
Well, maybe this person then moves up a notch. and
Right,
Gets
and
replaced by,
becomes,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah, it becomes a full-time.
because they're pretty familiar with it.
Yeah,
I mean, I think as this progresses, we'll see if there's more responsibilities. But it's hard to,
we need the catch-all phrase
Yes.
and any related activities.
including but not limited to.
Right. So so for starters, can you think of anything else? All right, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this typed up. And,
How does this get distributed? Does this go like to Indeed? Where does it go? How is it posted?
All right, so what we do is the town board, of course, and the town website.
Mhm.
And then Eric typically sends them, through Sabrina to any associated, like to MHP, Mass Housing Partnership, if they maintain any associated, organization that would do housing. He don't usually do Indeed, but he did do it for and that, when we were looking for land use coordinator, that sort of thing, he could do it there. And then you get all sorts of crazy things from Indiana and Utah, and you get them from all over saying, "Can I do this remotely? I'd be willing to do
Well,
it."
that's why I asked you right away.
remotely."
That's
Yeah.
exactly why, but you can't really, it's not practical.
Right. It's better to have someone who's right here.
Yeah.
So, anyway. Should I go and ask Eric if he has a job description maybe?
I know, what was the Collins, when you said this isn't in the Collins format? So, I mean, is that something that's,
The
Like, can you
Collins
like this?
Center, this isn't older, so 5 years ago, before I was ever, and my whole term has come up. They had these sorts of job descriptions and a different wage scale. The Collins Center was hired by a board before me to go through all the job descriptions.
yeah,
Now, this was not a, do I resend it?
Yeah. Everyone's windows shut,
Huh?
Yeah. No?
mine at home or not.
Sorry, just one in the barn. We'll clean it up when we get home.
Anyway, what
Just
I'll
one
do
more-
is, I'll check with Eric, because he was gonna do a posting. And then the job description gets put with the posting, so there's a posting that says, we're looking for a administrative assistant for housing and grant writing, blah, blah, blah. For the job description, see this, and then it's posted on the website.
Do you put salary range?
Usually we do, yes.
Do we have anything in mind?
Um,
Defer to Eric for housing?
We were gonna defer to whatever the housing authority was paying, whatever scale that is.
okay.
And so it goes A is the lowest scale up to F. And this position is either a C or a D. I think it's a C position, which means it's probably in the $15 to $20 an hour. Um,
We gotta do better than McDonald's.
I know.
you're right.
Should be $20. an
I,
hour.
that's
Should
what
be
I think, so it
$20
should be a
an hour.
minimum of
Yeah.
20,
Consulting.
yeah.
So we
Get
can
what
look
you
at
pay
the
for.
stuff in that, but yeah. So that's what this is, the job description. So what I'll do is I'll type this up. I'll get whatever Eric was gonna put together because, this was sent to me by Jody, who is the current housing authority person.
What?
Housing authority.
She's current, but she doesn't plan to apply for this position. It would be, she's gonna give that up and just do the assessor thing.
Yeah.
So anyway. So that's what I'll do with this. I'll get it to you with, by the end of the week and we'll go from there.
Good. Sounds good.
All right, this next one was for Chaz, except that he hasn't joined us. Probably something came up at work. Any update on the Warren Road property survey, Habitat for Humanity? So we'll move that to the next meeting. All right. A plan for CPA rollout. Who, what, when, and where. We have the give a little, get a lot write-up. I would like to, we had talked about meeting with the department heads. I have a whole list. It's probably in these minutes from our last meeting, the May meeting. BPA rollout information over the summer and fall, attend the department head meeting, visit all boards, do things at band concerts, that would be August. Churches, TBA to discuss, do a townwide,
The mailing would be just prior to town meeting. I would
just
think.
prior to town meeting.
What does that cost?
costs around $6,000.
To hit every
To
single,
hit all the different, if you do it,
Hmm.
Wow.
Can you
Right on my-
give a break? Didn't the post office just to give a break, or if you did it like a bulk mailing, it's still $6,000.
we could do a bulk mail. Could do that, and that would be about half of that. We could do that.
What's the difference between a bulk mailing and what's the other?
It goes out like a flyer, and
Yeah.
it won't be necessarily, timely. So they do it whenever they do it.
Whenever they
Okay.
get to it.
I
know,
like the
so
bulk mailing idea.
well,
Yeah,
but it needs to be timely to the town meeting,
so we would have to do it early enough that it gets to
Yeah, it gets
people.
everybody.
but they don't forget.
I know, you know what else too? I mean, I'm not saying that we should spend thousands of dollars. I think we have to have it be like a flashing
Yeah.
thing so that you
Yeah,
see it all
Yeah.
the time. It's like,
Yes.
oh, there's that thing again. Oh,
We
there
need
you
signs.
And so that people
Yeah.
can,
Yeah, we're gonna have to push.
So,
yeah, like it should be something maybe once a month. I don't know how you get it out
Yeah.
there, but
Yeah.
so what I was thinking is we could ask Eric about attending a department head meeting and roll it out to all the town department heads. Do the give a little, get a lot. I'll just make a dog and pony show if you guys are good. with
Yeah.
I think we
Let's
got
do
it.
And I talk through that and do that in July.
Yeah, answering
And,
questions people. that can-
Ask to get on boards,
Right.
the agendas for all the boards between now and the end of August.
Yeah.
So I'll write up a thing to send out to all the department heads and the boards.
Good.
What's the
Um,
date of the town meeting? Has it been set
It
yet?
hasn't been set
I
yet.
didn't-
It usually isn't set until, usually around October, and it depends on when the free cash gets certified. We don't usually do it until after free cash gets certified. And lately, the past 2 years, that has been somewhere around Thanksgiving or the week after. It's awful. It is awful.
Because then you then you have the holiday and you end up like last year, you're in January.
Right.
And you have
Right,
snow
and January is
storms and you're-
almost too late. So I think the auditors are downstairs. You wanna go home?
No, it's too late now.
They'll try. The car is dirty anyway.
Yeah, I get a new car, so I could. I'll just sell it.
Okay. All right, so I will contact, I'll talk to Eric for the department head meeting. And, I'll send out a email to, chairs of committees to ask to be on their, meetings. And I'll just use the give a little, get a lot. Handout.
Is that like this
we
one, the one that, this one?
There were two of them. There's
And
that
then
one
the
and then
written
the
one?
one that we wrote.
I know, you know what, this one,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I know.
And I think citing other towns that are similar to us,
Like, surely.
profiling. So that have been successful with this, I think is important for the boards to understand. We're not asking for something that's unique or hasn't worked in other places.
Right.
For Pete's sakes, really?
And there's probably been 100% of other places that, it's like the rail trail. People were like
Right.
crazy about not in my backyard. Now we have this rail trail, everybody's going, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's always that.
And so
Yeah.
this is a similar kind of educating people who are fearful.
So what I was thinking is if we can do this in July and August, hit all the boards and the town committees, then, in August, maybe like the last 2 day concerts or something,
And for it.
and,
Ah,
Yeah.
just and talk to anybody that wants to talk about it, and then in the fall, we can hit TBA, we can ask to send things out through the churches.
In the schools, the high school.
Oh, we cannot give out flyers because it's not North Middlesex. And they don't want to give out something that would be just for Townsend when they have more than one. They won't even give out the record.
how about if we just use the elementary school and middle school? That's just Townsend. Young
That's a good
people,
idea.
you get young
We'll find out about
kids.
that.
Yeah, they have parents also.
Yeah, yeah,
And middle school, we won't
but
do high
that's like
school.
good age, like those people that,
Yeah,
you'd hope would.
they might push
Come
back on middle school, but yeah.
And
And,
oh, middle school, because it's Ashland too, right? Oh,
okay. All right, so we have a plan. We'll work with this. one.
I know, and I like this, I wish there was some way that you could do like easy things, because I think part of it
Too
is.
many words.
Yeah,
Yeah.
too many words, some people are gonna look at them and go, all I know is they want
Yeah.
more money.
Bullet
You
point.
know, so that if you could have a thing, maybe, I don't know.
Okay, Cindy, I'm sending you the, I'm sending you the word. And then you can muck it and we'll work together.
We can,
and
yeah,
get it.
yeah, and I don't mean to say that I don't like this, because I think it's good, but it's a complicated thing.
I
And
pulled
I
that
know
from,
from-
I think it was Shrewsbury or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
off of
just know
that
the people that
website.
were in front of me at town meeting, that awful town meeting, and they were like talking about $500,000 two-bedroom houses in Timberley Park, and they were gonna be paying thousands and thousands of dollars to this CPA. And I think we should call that woman who talked about her grocery bill and say, look, you know what, we just wanna, just so that you can understand this and see how it works, and I think the senior center is another thing too,
Oh,
because
yeah.
because people that don't have, that are on a fixed income, or, that they'll know, no, they're at,
Okay.
It really only affects people that own homes, correct?
Only people who own homes, yes.
Well, or more.
And whose
And the
income
it's your income,
is the
yeah.
income level. So,
And I think these are like really generous,
yeah,
so that, yeah.
if they are very generous.
I didn't need to be critical.
No. I just have to get something.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. So we'll work on that.
They give up 2 dinners in Chippewa Hill for the whole year.
I know.
That's what you're giving up.
I know.
2 dinners at Chippewa Hill. And look what you're gonna get back. The
Yeah.
town and everyone can enjoy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
It's a
I know.
community thing. Really is.
It really is, which then kind of explains the thing, how do you get like people to
Well,
come to town
It'd
meeting?
be nice to
Right.
include some kind of figures to start out with. Over the years, we could have collected, in other words, here's what we passed up on.
Yeah,
And those monies could have gone to.
Yeah.
yeah.
That is a good
I
idea.
think
You know-
Eric talked about this too.
Yeah.
How much money we pay right now
Right,
into the CPA. And
and we're getting nothing back.
We're getting
I know, so I don't know how you figure
Yeah,
out how
so
much.
that's got,
I tried, when I was doing that, I tried to get on the, through the registry of deeds to see if I could find out what it was. Then I went to DOR. Because DOR kind of, they're the Department of Revenue, and they kind of keep track of all this stuff. But I never quite got to the numbers, and I was hurrying, but we
Yeah,
might be able to find that.
That's, yeah. 'cause I
Yeah,
think that
and
would
we
be
can work
another
on that.
because that, to point out that, look, we're paying in anyway, folks. We're paying in,
thing. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
but
So, but we don't get anything back.
yeah.
no.
So, all right. All right. South Railroad property. Okay, so I'm moving on. We're gonna work on this and, I'll send an email for this collecting of, I'll send an email to the guy at the website for CPA, that CPA website. There's a guy there that you
Oh,
can
really?
ask questions of and say, how do we get that information on
Good.
what Townsend
Good,
has paid
there
in?
you go.
Yeah, okay. I know, because even if we did something like over the last 5 years, this is how much money we've paid.
Right.
Mhm. We could do it over time and in just the past 5 years.
There you
Blah,
go.
blah, blah.
There you go.
Yeah,
Okay. All right, the South Row Road property. Should I contact Ross Associates about this? about that plan or not yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Any thoughts?
Because the question becomes, do we want to just go with them? Because they did do something else. So let me go down to the next one, report on any meetings. At the Regional Housing Network meeting, which was maybe 2 weeks ago, I attended it. And they were talking about tiny house community in Westford. And they suggest it's apparently between 495 and the center of Westford somewhere along the power lines.
Oh, I think I know where it is, by where they built the new fire station,
I think so.
kind of in along there.
In along there, they said they said the location sucks, but the community itself is really nice. That the houses are nice, and they said that we should go. I was talking about South River, and that, you know, it was however many buildings with 3 units in the building. And they said, well, if you want to do the time, but we were thinking about smaller homes.
Well, these are literally tiny houses, like
I
500
know,
square
that's-
feet, 300.
I don't know. They
Yeah.
just said it's small houses, small, you know,
Okay.
it's not, I don't think it's the tiny houses where you go upstairs and sleep in the loft.
I know,
You
because you might kill yourself at 3
Yeah,
o'clock in
no,
the
I
morning.
don't want
trying
to do that, yeah, forget it. But they said, look at that community, that it's an affordable housing community, workforce housing community,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it. That was very well done, just in a really, really awful location.
Is
What's the
there a
general
name
reason?
for it?
I can't remember it off the top of my head, and I didn't bring that folder with me.
But you think it's on 110 then? Yeah.
I don't think it's, no, not on
Okay.
110. The other side of 110 is more on
Yeah.
the Acton side of.
Yeah, isn't it like by Boston Road? I think, I'm not,
Yeah, they said it was along the power lines, and it was between 495 and the center of Westford,
Okay.
is what I wrote
Okay,
down.
So then you go.
So the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
side
yeah,
of where you're,
okay.
from where you're thinking of 495, the other side of 495.
Well, because that chunk of Westford that cuts down Route 40, I don't have been down there a lot. They're
They're
building,
doing a lot of building there. Maybe that's where it is.
well, those aren't teeny homes
No,
though.
they aren't.
But still, I thought that they might be in the affordable housing category, because it looked like a lot of them were 2 families and, you know,
Mhm.
that kind of thing.
So it could be that.
Duplexes or whatever they call it.
Right. So they said to look at that. That would be something to look at.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, they've got quite a bit going on in that corridor there.
mhm.
Trying to find it.
I know I am too, and
Don't call it tiny homes. That won't work.
Look for workforce housing, Westford, maybe.
Affordable housing trust.
Guys,
Westford.
gonna be much longer?
We should be done by 2:30.
Westford, Mass, low income housing.
Okay, try that. But that was my takeaway from that meeting, was to look at that. And then I thought, well, maybe we don't want to just, default to what was there before. But we should get a wetland delineation from
Yeah.
someone
Obviously.
and see what amount
Right,
of
it's not
space.
cottages in the woods, is it? Is that, that's. I don't know. It's right off of 495.
Well, 495 was the,
Let me see if that's,
Yeah.
and they said, here we are.
and I think they are, I think I've seen it, but maybe I'm looking. I think I've seen it, cottages in the woods. Yeah. One Joe's Way in Westford, Mass.
Cottages for sale.
Housing development.
Yeah, new
One J
income. Yeah, it's, MCO houses for sale, houses for rent.
MCO, this would be right, yeah. This
Yeah,
would be right.
and it's right off of 495. I think that's Boston Road that goes up there, but I'm not 100% sure.
I'm looking for the family for can earn up to 111,850 and qualify for new affordable homes. But where is the map?
I got it on this. I Googled cottages in the woods and I
Uh-huh.
was on this map because then I just opened something else and it's in Mission Hill. And so I'm like, okay, wait a minute, where are we here? Yeah, it is. It's off of Boston Road. It's 495 in Boston Road. You know, when you go down that way, like if you go to Market House, go to Whole Foods.
Oh, cottages.
Oh,
in the
so
woods.
maybe it is.
Yeah.
right then.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
It's cottages in the woods, no?
I think that's what it is. Because they list.
I can't make that out there. But this is the housing authority.
Okay. Well, that's what they told me that you should drive over there and look at that.
Yeah. It'll be fun.
So,
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Good sushi restaurant there too.
Just saying.
Okay. Anyway, the general consensus on this one was they liked it. So,
So are they individual houses like that you can rent or buy?
I believe there's rentals and purchase options.
Huh. You know what else Westwood has? It's kind of funny because when on the lake, they built a lot of small cottages. They are seasonal, they're not year-round homes that are pretty reasonable. They've built this like whole cottage community. And it's the same thing, they're really small houses. But for someone that, if you wanted to spend your summer on the lake while you're still working, you know, you can get to and from work. And they're small and they're cute, you know. So I'm wondering if maybe that they've kind of taken this. I don't know, my phone died. It's not going
Okay.
anywhere. But that's interesting. Yeah, we should take a look. Take a look.
Okay.
Oh.
What did you say? So that's our homework before let's take a look at that. And then we can see.
Oh, yeah, there's a bunch. So these are the cottages, sorry.
Oh,
So there's a bunch of,
okay.
this is the cottages in the woods. Okay.
And that's what we would
See,
have
look,
on South Road Road, cottages in the
look
wood.
at that. Would be a good model. We should talk to the developer.
Let's see it.
Yeah, that,
Yeah.
they said, go and take a look and then,
Jeez.
Oh, wow. Well, I wonder like what they do for if they did a septic system or if they.
We can ask.
yeah, we
what do
would
we-
have to ask.
I mean, that's one of the challenges with that site, but
This
Yeah.
one probably has sewers. huh?
I think they do. Yeah.
Where in West?
well, depends where. Do you think I have
I
every?
know, it depends where, because of, yeah.
Yeah, they probably do, because it's like, it's right next to Boston Road, so there's probably services running along there anyway. So probably tap that.
So is it on the 110 side? Is it on the?
Well, I can't,
Do you know where Boston Road is? Like, if you take 225 and you keep going to Westford, if you take 225, like
Yeah.
Shaw's, right?
Right.
And so then you go down, you come into Westford Center,
Uh-huh.
and at that intersection right in the center, you go this way, you take a right, and you go down the hill, that's Boston Road.
Oh,
And
okay,
that takes you right down to 495.
okay. Well,
And
that's
so I
what
think
that's the general area they were talking about.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
oh, this is Boston Road.
and they said the only terrible thing is the power lines go through it.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I
and they
don't see
say,
power
I think
lines
it
up.
does kind of back up to 495.
Yeah.
You'll probably get highway noise.
They said the location was,
It's cheap land.
but you know,
Yeah.
but it was a nice development.
Yeah,
So.
it's convenient anyways, it's convenient.
Yeah. Yeah, to go and look, and then we
Yeah.
can talk to them
So it's either
about
you
how they did it.
price 200,000, condo fee 250 a month. So it's not bad.
I know,
200,000 for, yeah, I assume this is, yeah, well, this is 21. So it's probably gone up a bit,
wow, wow,
you know, so maybe it's 250 now. Still, it's pretty damn good.
Yeah,
I know.
That's
I know.
totally affordable. It says 2 bedrooms, 1 bath.
Right.
Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, yeah. So they
Approximately
aren't
1,000.
teeny.
Well, approximately 1,000 square feet. So a
Right.
tiny house is 250 to 400 square feet.
Yeah,
So
no,
this is not a teeny house.
no, it's,
Yeah.
it's right,
Yeah, it's a good size, it's a good size.
it's enough.
It says the development's 10 years old, so, or
Really?
maybe now 12 years old. Yeah.
Wow, oh, wow.
I didn't know that.
Hmm.
So that was my report on the meetings.
okay.
So we'll take a look
Really interesting.
and then we'll, figure out where to go next with South Row. And by then we will have met with the,
The logger.
logger. Right.
Yeah.
I know, I don't know, yeah, so, but South Road pulled off on the engineering thing for right now?
Yes. we'll
Yeah.
hold on.
That's gonna be a logger. Let's, you know, get a little more input to see if it's worth making that investment.
Yeah, I know, because we don't know what we want them to engineer for, really. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
At this point.
And the fact that they've already done it, that's nice, but they're gonna start from scratch if we do it again.
Exactly, that's what I would think.
It is, the wetland delineation is way out of, I mean,
Yeah.
they're only good for like 2
2
years.
years.
Yeah,
So,
can I ask another question too, on the logging thing? So the parcels that you're looking at on South Road and Wallace Road.
Right now,
right.
Wallace Hill,
because they're big.
but are you gonna have them look at the other ones or talk to them about?
Well, I think we look at the first two, see if they're interested in what, you know, would be involved, and then,
Yeah.
and say, look, there's some smaller ones too. You want to look at those?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think if we ask them to look at 5 in one day or something, I don't know.
yeah, yeah, that's true too.
But I mean, I think we go to one, spend as much
Yeah.
time as we do, we go to the second one, and then if there's more time and he's interested, well,
Yeah, we can.
3 more.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 okay.
Right.
This is an income thing. So, all right.
All right, that's all I have. And, so we're gonna, no July meeting.
the first site visit, hopefully.
Yes. No July meeting, and our next meeting will be August 28th.
What was that, August one?
28th
28th
here.
here, yes. We already have a Zoom. I'll let Dave know to cancel the
July.
July Zoom. And then we already have a Zoom link for August, and we'll meet with Blogger.
Hopefully,
Hopefully.
because I'll reach out to there tomorrow and see if we can settle on a date and a time. Does time matter to anybody in terms of
No,
No,
yoga in the morning or anything like that?
no,
I will
No.
rearrange everything to fit whatever the site.
yeah, all of my things have come and gone, so I'm. pretty available.
Well, I might have to wash my hair.
All right, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I
There you go.
make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
At 2:22. I will second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
All right. See you later.
Good.